And there we go. We are live. Welcome, everyone, to a very special, I guess, welcome back to me edition of the Free Thinkers. I am Mikhail the Stray Cat. I am hosting this particular episode today, and we are going to be taking a swipe at Sam Seder and other things. So, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, all good. How about you?
Well, apart from being pissed
Not
off at
much.
the
Should
Bird
we
app
all
for being
introduce ourselves or
stupid.
something?
Yeah, hello. You were saying something?
I was gonna say,
Apart from,
apart from being pissed off at the Bird app for being stupid for the last several months, hence why I haven't heard from you guys in a while.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but
oh,
pretty.
let me say that the fact that you're doing good is probably because you're not on the Bird app.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, I finally did get my main back up and running. Thank God. Um, but the funny thing is, since that happened, I really haven't been on it like at all. I've been on my alt account. So
Mm,
there you go.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had a
So,
thing with the Bird app. Like many of my accounts have
Yeah.
gotten banned, and one of my accounts actually got banned because I couldn't find. I had an old phone number I used for that account, and for some reason they wanted to check. They wanted me to verify the account. For some reason, 5 months after I made it, and I was like to them, I can't, can't use this phone number because my phone number changed and to somebody else's. And since Twitter doesn't have like a phone like operator system, you have to like just email them and to their bots,
Yeah.
uh, which is fun. Which I sort of guess why they don't have a phone thing because everybody would be calling them, but it does make things a little annoying. I think YouTube has also gotten rid of this, and also eBay. A bunch of companies have gotten rid of this, phone thing, which now makes it harder because you have to like write a nice sent email, and it's probably gonna be written by a bot. But I regress. Anyways,
yeah.
I can relate, dude. Yeah, trying to deal with the powers that be with the Bird app and other big tech apparatuses that I could mention. Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah,
not fun.
yeah, like I have to do something like with eBay. I have to like contact them, but it's hard to do it.
Yeah.
Ah, crap. Did did we just
Nope.
lose Toasted?
I think
Okay,
we.
everybody hit F. Everyone hit F.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think we did.
uh, okay. Yeah, we'll try and get him. Yeah, it might be an internet connection. I think we're gonna have to maybe stop like without him, but like hopefully he joins back.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully he'll pop back up here in a moment. Um Crap. Oh well. Things happen. No big deal. It's probably just an internet, connection issue. Anyway, so what is our topic for the day?
Oh,
Oh,
the Sam Seder and Bill Maher video. Okay, hi Toasted, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, my computer is literally.
Uh,
I hope it's okay if I say it AIDS, but yeah, I'm back.
it's okay. We told
Yeah,
everyone to hit F for you.
yeah, that's good.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. It's good. It's cool.
Okay, so uh, to be fair, I have not actually had a chance to review the video in question. So, what exactly happened here? Clue me in, please. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic.
I think it had to do with
so basically,
Bill. Sorry, Rohan, you can
Oh,
go.
yeah. So sometime last week, Ben Shapiro had Bill Maher on his Sunday special show. Like I've seen that interview in full. It's a good interview, but basically Sam Seder had some issues to take with Bill Maher going on that podcast and like some of the stuff he said because like Bill Maher for most of the Trump years he was
Okay,
like normal mainstream lefty,
give me
but
just a second,
he's
Rohan. We've got somebody else wanting to join the
gone a
stream.
little
Give
bit.
me just a second.
Yeah,
There we go. What's up? What's up?
yeah.
Yo, what's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, good, man.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Rohan. You were saying here like a week ago or so, um, Ben Shapiro had
Yeah,
Bill
so
Maher on his
basically,
show.
Ben Shapiro had Bill Maher. Yeah, and Sam Seder didn't like some of the stuff he said. Cause like since COVID's happened, Bill Maher's like come a bit to the right and stuff. And basically, like since Bill Maher used to be like a standard reply guy for lefties, people don't really like the fact that he's changed his mind a bit. So
I
I
mean,
guess
but
this is just a manifestation of that.
well, Bill Maher's always been, sort of like, I mean, he's always been left wing, but he always been, I don't know how to explain it. Sort of had some right wing tendencies. He has to
I
talk politically.
maybe I'm off base here, but for my own perspective, I always took Bill Maher and kind of tongue in cheek when I say this, but kind of a center left type of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All things
he's
yeah,
quite liberal.
considered.
Yeah,
yeah. Me too.
Not really far left and not
Yeah,
really
I'll say
moderate left,
he's
just
center
kind of
left.
leans left, center
yeah,
left
Yeah, I mean,
is what I always took him to
he,
be.
he was always. I think always people consider him like a libertarian left, one of the only libertarian lefts they have that exist really. Because he
Well,
was
he
sort of
certainly has a sense of humor. I'll give him that.
I mean,
yeah,
he's also like an atheist. He's like pro-gay rights. He's a Democrat. He's an
Yeah.
atheist. Did I say atheist? I mean, I've already said atheist. Yeah, so
yeah,
he's quite left.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the atheism part comes a bit like in the Sam Seder video, but he plays it kind of weirdly, and he has this very stupid argument with it. But like, yeah, we'll go through that.
Yeah, I don't really like Sam Seder. I sort of like I lost respect for him. Well, I always did, but after he called, Joe Rogan the current day Rush Limbaugh,
Oh
because like
God!
according to Sam,
Wait. Is that for real? I thought that
yeah, I'm
was a
not
joke.
joking. I'm not joking. They have on MSNBC. He said that because like he's that type of
Yeah.
person that believes anybody that's to the left of CNN or TYT is I mean anybody
So
to the
they
right of
consider CNN right
TYT.
wing. They
And
probably
yeah,
consider CNN right wing. So
yeah,
probably TYT.
yeah, anybody to the right of TYT is basically considered conservative, and he has a problem with you. Basically, I mean,
I,
like he's
I,
sort of stereotypical leftist that can't handle any right wingers. Like he was very angry when Dave Rubin started to become more right wing. Which now I can understand why people, because Dave Rubin has some whatever type takes. But even when Dave Rubin was a reasonable person, like
Yeah.
back when he was actually, he still had some issue with him. I mean, which I don't really get why people consider Sam Seder sort of like intellectual of the left. I sort
he's
of
not.
consider,
He's
He's
very
not
yeah,
very smart. Yeah.
intellectual. He's
I,
been
yeah,
shredded by people like Shane and plenty of others. Like
yeah.
I
yeah.
don't know how many times.
And I
I
just
think
and just
He's
one thing
good at
I'm going to sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah. Go
think he's
ahead, Toasted.
good at
What's
like
up?
And just one thing I want to say, I never really I considered Sam Seder sort of like a not even a good person, if that makes sense. Like
yeah. He's
how
not.
he
He's very very smug. He's very
eh,
very very smug.
no, like
Yes,
you
I'll
guys
definitely say that.
you guys could hate Dave Rubin all you want, but the way he has completely stalked him is sort of if you got I mean in a little bit crazy. I don't know.
Did
You
we
could say
just
I,
lose Rohan? I think we just
yeah.
lost
He
oh
said
yeah,
he
Rohan.
had.
he said he's having
I
network issues.
I
yeah.
think.
Okay. Everyone hit F. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Toasted.
What do you want to say, Waka Waka? I
I
think he
was just
wants.
gonna say, I think he's like quite bad, but I think in comparison to someone like Brady Mayfield, I don't think he's that bad.
Yeah, of course, I agree with you.
I
Well,
think
I can certainly think of worse people, but Sam Cedar is kind of an idiot, to
Yeah,
say the very least. He's kind of a moron.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he is better than Casey, but yeah, he is pretty bad. But nobody is as bad as Casey. Just joking.
And
yeah. Well,
should we start with the
regardless
video?
of how like smart you think Seder's arguments are, he is able to like steelman them much better than TYT, which has helped him increase popularity. And very few conservatives like responded to him, which I think is the mainstream conservatives like
I
troll,
think
and that's contributed to his rise So that's one of the reasons I actually wanted to do this stream, and like I actually wanted to respond to it.
Well,
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean,
well, since you bring that up there, and if you give me just a second, you know, I do find it very interesting that people, you know, even to some extent, the lot of us, I guess, still seem to view political and socioeconomic ideology within the general framework of the left versus the right. Because to me, this is something of a false dichotomy because there's way more to what somebody thinks and what they perceive and yeah, how they conduct themselves and what they think it would be best. There's way more than just left or right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one of the big what's it called motivators in that is the Jordan Holmes in the 18th century. You know, like he was really pushing forward that narrative, I think, and along with guys like Abek Klazenbeck, who's like in the 80s in Russia, like that really pushed forward that right versus left mentality.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong at all. And I would venture to say that there were probably a number of others that might not be as noteworthy, but yes, you're absolutely right. And my point is that it's still to this day it kind of amazes me that people on a general scale, yeah, as a general plethora, don't seem to grasp the concept that left or right, those are the only two options. No. When in reality, if
There's
you
more
stop and
nuance.
exercise all of about, I don't know, 5 seconds worth of critical thinking, you're gonna realize real fast, no, there's more than that.
Wagga Wagga said he'll be back in a bit. So, do you want to start the video now?
oh yeah, you mind if I
yeah,
just say something about the Wagga Wagga? I hope this is nothing wrong. I'm not sure if he's really that political. If that makes sense. I hope I'm not
yeah.
being too
I,
away.
I I hope I didn't run him off. I wasn't trying to.
No, no,
No,
it's
you
He
know,
fine.
no,
just
you
said
didn't
he
run it off.
wanted
I
to be
just
in the stream, and I thought like he
yeah.
asked me, and I thought it maybe like depending on your permission, I guess, but like
No,
yeah,
you can
so
come on. You
Oh,
can come on if you want. If he
he's
wants to. I just hope that.
if he wants to come back, by all means, he's perfectly welcome as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, of course, of course.
all right. So I think we should start the stream now.
Oh,
Okay.
we're starting. All right, let's
Okay,
start.
let's
Turning
go
on
ahead and
video.
mute our mics so that we can go ahead and dissect this.
Are you sharing your screen? Wait, are you sharing your screen? Because I don't think anyone can hear it. I don't see the screen.
Give me just a second. Share
Oh, okay, okay.
screen. Okay, what am I looking for here? I'm still
Hold on.
kind of new to this.
See if I
Okay,
can see
so
you.
I think you go to the second one, and then like there's a box that where you take like share like, or is it the first one? The one where you can take
Yeah,
like
yeah.
share.
Hit share, and then it pops up with slides, extra camera, video file, share
Yeah, I think you
screen.
should share screen rather than one.
Okay, there we go. Okay, do you? All right, what am I looking for here? Share
Wait.
system audio. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I hope I'm not being rude. After this video, can we react to another Sam? There's another Sam Cedar video I want to react to after this. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's
If you
fine
have
with me.
if you have time, maybe sure.
Yeah, if we have time.
Yeah, I'm going to leave in like
Okay.
40 minutes though, 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so good. So now you go now you basically go to the Sam Seder YouTube video, and then you unpause and unpause.
Okay.
You have the video? I can send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I sent it to you from my Twitter.
Oh, okay. It's yeah. Okay, hang on a second.
Bill Maher has always been an ass.
Which channel is this being streamed on, by the way?
Okay.
My garden.
Okay,
brings
can you
us
guys
together.
see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Bill Maher went on to the Ben Shapiro show.
Can you put on full screen if possible?
I tell you, Bill Maher has always been a bit of a libertarian, and he,
crazy people. I refuse to believe there are enough.
his show was politically incorrect, and he was that was the show that really launched
The
him.
one next to the Twitter.
And it really was about being like, the old white guy,
The one next to the right. Yeah.
responding to
There we
a
go.
new
Sorry, I have
generation
too
of
many tabs
emancipation
open.
that was taking place in the 90s. Politically correct was the term started as a way for college students, I think in like the 90s, to assess whether they wanted to date somebody. It was a jokey term. It was a jokey term. And then it was adopted by the right more than it was by the
I
left.
imagine that drove them pretty crazy to talk about
Can you
it.
pause this, please?
Aside from dating.
Right. This was the 90s were very it was a different time. And it was like when we had come out of the Reagan era, homophobia was beginning to become less acceptable. And I phrased it that way specifically. I don't know how much people appreciate like how bad it was in the 80s and the 90s.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this right here.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
Okay. Let's just go ahead and take a swipe at that right there.
So
Okay.
I just wanted to say that he claimed that that politically correctness started in like 1990s for like dating or something.
Yeah, there are
So
two
I just
waves
checked
out.
it. If you consider Britannica like a reliable source, it says the term first appeared in Marxist-Leninist vocabulary in the 1917 following the Russian Revolution, and it was sort of to describe people adhering to the party line. So no, it wasn't actually started to like 90s to like for like dating. It was actually used by communists.
God damn it, Connor! You took the words right out of my mouth. You're exactly right. Like, this guy's only a few decades off.
A few decades, yeah. Give it like 5-6 decades off, probably.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was also used, according to Wikipedia, it was also used to describe like Nazis, where they were granting reporting permits only to quote unquote pure Aryans whose opinions are politically correct. So like this term has been apparently used to describe like Nazis and like Stalinists. So yeah.
And that was just one Google search, by the way. This was not like any deep research. Just like 5 minutes ago. So like that's like
Yeah,
the least he could have done. At this point.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Connor. Fucking
and he talks about
2-minute
like
Google search would tell you this. Like,
yeah, and
God.
Sam Seder like talks about like Bill Maher and like homophobia, but I'm pretty sure like Bill Maher is pretty pro-gay.
Yeah, he's pro-gay marriage. I'm 100% sure
Yeah.
he's pro-gay marriage.
But
and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
okay. No, I'm simply pointing out is like this guy seems to think that the overall terminology, the usage of these terms started back in the 80s and late 70s. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, this has been around for decades. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move on.
It's the one next to the Twitter.
Yeah. Again, apologies. I'm still getting used
I think
to
if
this.
you use spacebar, you can actually pause it quicker. So like just instead of
Oh, okay, cool. I did not know that. Nice.
Because like, in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s, people pretended like it didn't exist. And
Okay, hold on. Time out. So the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, People pretended like it didn't exist. Okay, then
Homophobia.
where
He
the
was
hell
talking
did
about homophobia.
oh, yeah, where the hell did Joe Biden get his story from his dad about the two dudes that they saw walking down the street? You remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. Isn't he said a lot of those really like stories which ended up being like false or something?
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. It's like oh, okay. So homophobia or homosexuality or both didn't exist.
No, like
Um,
you think homophobia. Yeah, yeah. People thought that
is that what
homophobia
this
didn't
guy's saying? Like it just didn't exist. It wasn't a thing, like at all.
I
Or,
mean, even if he's claiming making the claim that some people thought that homophobia like wasn't even a thing back at the time, what's your point? Like, I think
Things
Bill
change.
Maher agrees with you that homophobia is bad. So, like, what are you trying to say? Like,
yeah,
that's not a rebuttal, right?
yeah. I thought this was supposed to be rebutting or debunking something, and thus far I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing it. So
Sam's gonna get to that.
okay, then let's continue.
The homophobia was just like so it was almost like so baked into society that there was no name for homophobia, I think, probably at that time.
Okay, I apologize.
That's fine. That's
YouTube does that.
But then in the 80s, it became like this thing that walked around. And in the early 90s, it was walking around.
Okay, so this
What's your point?
the shapeless, formless, otherwise non-existent boogeyman called homophobia just started walking around all by itself. Is that what he's trying to say? Like, am I hearing
I
this
mean,
correctly?
to be fair to say that, like, the whole like homophobia compared to, like, racism, like, homophobia has only been like recently, like, dealt with, like,
Yeah,
of so there's still like a lot of it.
I
In
think
fact,
gay
like,
marriage was
I mean, half of this,
legalized
like, panel is a
2015.
decent
Gay marriage.
example of like the divide. I mean, like, me and Toasted are like pretty, like, have pretty traditional like stances towards, like, gay marriage, like, socially. So I think, it say that has kind of a like fair point there, but
I
uh,
mean, like, I mean, fair. I mean, the point is fair. I think that like there was a lot of homophobia back in the day, which I mean, I probably agree with, and it was wrong. But like, what? That's not a debunking of anything. Bill Maher is not pro homophobia. He's
oh yeah,
pro gay marriage.
Yeah, I was gonna
even
say
that. Well,
if this is a debunking of Bill Maher as far as homosexuality and whether he accepts or rejects it as a thing, this is not a debunking. Like, what's this guy's point?
yeah, also, like, Bill Maher would at least minimum be for had it been for like same sex unions back in the 90s, like maybe gay marriage as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
oh
it's
yes,
not that's not
absolutely. I can easily imagine that. Okay, let's roll.
It was like a thing to do. And
Oh, can you put it in two times? By the way?
I was like, what are the kids doing?
Also, could you mind
He
pausing
wasn't
for a second? I just
he
want to
wasn't
say
that
something.
old.
I'm sorry. Say what?
Didn't Bill Maher one time date a trans woman a long time ago? Didn't he date
Oh,
one?
really? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Did he? Holy
Yeah, I
crap! I
think
didn't know that.
I think he did. Yeah.
GG.
Yeah.
Goated.
I think
Yeah.
you can maybe search.
Hey, if he did, okay, cool.
Let me just check it
That's
out.
news to me. I had no idea.
Let me check it if this is true.
Okay, this.
Yeah, you can play the video if you want.
No. Go ahead. Let's take a look at this. Because now I'm kind of curious. Like, wait,
I'm
what?
not, I'm not seeing anything. All these articles are like claiming Bill Maher is a transphobe, which
And Dave
I
Chappelle.
call BS. I call BS on most of what the very far left has to
Wait,
say.
the articles are claiming that Bill Maher is a transphobe?
Yep.
Bullshit. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
This is more to do with like the Dave Chappelle like jokes and stuff.
I mean, like he's probably just different with like defending jokes and like defending like actual like harmful policies, right?
Yeah, there's a huge difference between simply defending somebody else's right to say something, even if someone else doesn't like it, and trying to defend government policy. There's a bit of a divide there.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you find anything, Connor?
No, not yet. Sorry, I'm not.
No, you're fine. No, I'm just genuinely curious. Like, wait, what? Since Toasted brought it up, it's like, hmm? I mean, if he did, hey, that's cool. Like, more power to you, man.
Yeah. Doesn't. Are you playing the video now?
Yeah.
Okay, I will continue with the video. And boom.
But he knew where he was headed. And
Oh,
you
by the
know,
way,
after
can you put
9/11,
the video 2 times speed?
he was still like,
I'm sorry.
Or like
Say what?
1.5. Can you put the video at like 1.5 or 2 times speed? It'll probably make it a bit quicker.
1.25 is fine.
Yeah. So settings.
Settings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playback speed. It's above subtitles.
Okay, I got it. 1.25. Okay, cool.
I
Yeah,
do
sure.
who Sam Seder reminds me of a little bit, but I mean, not the personality, but sort of like he sort of reminds me of Nick in that he can't handle any. He's sort of a big gatekeeper, can handle anybody that's a little bit moderate in his party, if that makes sense. He's
Yeah.
yeah. Never mind. Sorry. Help
Yeah.
this one.
Oh no, you're fine, Toasted. Honestly, I agree with you. Sam Seder strikes me as the kind of person that has a real big problem dealing with any kind of differentiation of opinion, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 All right, on with the video. Here we go.
I'm going to play the contrarian, and it got him into trouble. And so he became a little bit of a hero of the anti-Bush people. And there's some points over the years where he has been, I think like a reliable liberal on some issues. But, dude's got to wants to get re-upped on that show, wants to be in the limelight. Here he is on the Ben Shapiro show.
But when you say woke, it's become, and I make fun of it too, because it's become an eye roll in many ways. If woke, I assume at a certain moment, and it wasn't that long ago before we didn't have the term. I only heard it, I don't know what it was, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago at most, when we heard the term woke, and it was like alert to injustice. I went, okay, I'm down with that. I always have been. I hope people still understand that about me. But yes, it became sort of a byword for a lot of this goofy stuff. That's what I'm always railing against. That's why, like, they play me on Fox News now.
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that? Because you went from the guy who was...
I feel, look, I haven't changed at all. My politics hasn't changed. They've changed. People say to me sometimes, have you changed? No. It's that 5 years ago, no one was talking about defunding the police. I never heard that phrase 5 years ago. That's not me changing. That's things changing. I'm reacting to it, as I've always been. Letting 3-year-olds decide what gender they are. This wasn't something 5 years.
Okay.
I want to say something before I don't want to interrupt you, but something is
No, go ahead.
He hasn't changed. He has, if not, he has maybe he has gotten more left wing. He has always, in my mind, there's always been I don't know what to call it, a leftist, but sort of like has good opinions type leftist. He had some good opinions.
Moderate liberal, probably.
Yeah, but also he wasn't like the leftist. He wasn't afraid to be politically incorrect, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I consider him progressive light. Like he's not like progressive like PYT, but he's not like cut and pull.
If I can offer an opinion real fast, I think what he's saying here is actually genuine. He hasn't changed. It's everything around him has changed. For want of a better way to put it, the so-called proverbial left has taken 2 or 3, track and field runner leaps further left than he ever was. And so basically he's getting the drag from that. That's what this sounds like to me. Does that make sense?
I mean, like things are going to change for better or worse, but like they're changing too fast, and they're changing in like ridiculous directions. And like Bill, like, he has like changed with the times, and like that's the left part of him, the progressive part of him, like that can be good or bad. Like generally, that can be like good, and there's a like role for conservatives in that like progress. But yeah, the sure things change, but that doesn't always mean like change is always good.
No, but
But
one thing I just gonna say about uh,
Hmm.
Bill Maher is I thought actually that he was getting more left and he was getting less favorable among right wings because a couple of years ago, not too long ago, he wanted the economy to trash just to get rid of Trump out of office, which is a
yeah,
stupid.
yeah,
Yeah, he's
But
very, very vehemently
yeah.
anti-Trump.
yeah, yeah.
There's a reason like Bill's had a more like right wing like takes since Biden, and it's because like the boogeyman Trump, he's gone, and now like Bill can relax and like, but now like because like of COVID like and Ukraine and stuff, like Bill's getting worried again, and now he sees like Biden, he's not as partisan as before because I don't know, I guess like when you don't have that boogeyman anymore, and like when things are getting like even worse with COVID, like in this disaster, like it's easy to blame Trump. It's easy to blame Biden. Like they're both like very like vulnerable. Like that's how like Trump lost, and that's how like Biden's like suffering right now. And like because like the left are in power, like he's attacking like the left more since like he doesn't feel like attacking the left more will like put like the right at risk of winning like anytime soon. Maybe when it's like 2024, he'll start like worrying and start like attacking the right more often. But since he's like I don't know in a more like safe zone, like election wise, he'll be a lot less tolerant of the left.
I mean, he
Like,
kind of
Yeah. By the way,
If
just 1 second before you guys go, I have to take a two. So I'm gonna be gone for a second. Don't want you guys to think I'm dishing you guys. Just taking a good dump.
no problem, dude.
Sure, thank you.
I think Bill Maher is
I
very.
was gonna say
Okay,
something
sorry.
real fast to Theron. Um, okay, now here's the thing. I kind of disagree with you as far as elections are concerned. Um, Granted, of course, we're not talking about the executive branch per se. We're talking about the legislative branch here in America. But midterms are coming up here in November, last I looked. And
Mhm.
last I looked, I gotta be honest with you, it's not looking so good for the Democrats as things stand
Mhm.
right now. And this is not meant as an insult or a slight to anybody. I'm just giving you my 2 cents, so to speak. But yeah, it doesn't look good for them. I will not be surprised at all if things continue in the trajectory that they have been for literally a year at this point. Um, if the Democrats not only lose the House but lose the Senate by couple 3 seats, and if that happens, well, I have to be honest. I think anyone who isn't a complete sycophant and isn't living under a rock can look at Joe Biden and his entire administration and can see for themselves this guy is a vegetable. And everyone trying to follow his lead, they're following a vegetable. Last I looked, vegetables don't tend to like go anywhere, do they?
Mhm.
So maybe that would explain why I don't know, the economy is not going anywhere except maybe down.
yeah, yeah, along
And a
with
number
that,
of other things I could point out. But there you go. There's my proverbial 2 cents on the subject.
yeah, I
Also, I'd
think
like
like
to say- okay, sorry.
when the presidency is at stake, I think Bill will attack more like leftward, or he'll maybe go into a different journey, like if the left goes too insane, like. But yeah, like now that like, but now that Trump is going, like, sure, everything you've said is true, but like with Trump going, like, because they wasted so much energy into it, and they realized it was all kind of for nothing, and Bill is kind of like realizing this, like maybe Trump wasn't all that bad, maybe all that like Orange Man bad, that 90% negative coverage wasn't like, you know, all it's worth. So like I don't know, Bill is in a certain place right now, and this is like the result of it.
Yeah,
Like, time will tell.
you're not wrong, Theron. I honestly suspect that Bill finds himself in a very odd position, given his own, based on years of observation, his own general, somewhat left leanings. I imagine he finds himself in a very precarious position because the further left you go at this point, the worse it's going to get. But if you go even a millimeter to the right, like at all, then you're going to be demonized. Like, what's the guy supposed to do?
Hmm.
And I honestly have to circle back to what I said before and what he said before. I don't think he himself really changed. I think the circumstances did.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's both, but like, I guess it's a little more nuanced. But yeah,
I mean, Bill has always kind of attacked the left. Like there was a huge. You remember the whole Ben Affleck debate with Sam Harris and Bill Maher? That was
yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
always
yeah.
like attacked. He's always thought like a lot of the facts on the left were like very, I would say, forgiving of a lot of like the radical Islamic views that he doesn't believe are like liberal.
Yeah, I think he's going even more in that direction, but also because of circumstance. I think it's both factors, but yeah, I think I'd want to like resume the like video.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just say this: I really don't envy the position that I think Bill finds himself in at this point.
Does it go?
Pause it for a second. First off, keep fighting for that injustice by protecting the police, which I think there is no possible metric in the world, no possible metric that exists that can tell you that the policing in this country has brought about justice. There's no metric. If you're talking about
Okay, time out. I would really like for him to clarify what he means by the word justice. I would really like that
I'd also
because
like
I
to
don't think we're
clarify
using
what
that
stats he
term to.
means.
Huh?
Like, does he mean like stats by like I don't know, like black what like black unarmed like black men shot by police? Well, that can be like explained by the disparities in murder rates and I don't know if you talk about like drug cocaine disparities again like what like cocaine is like easier to transport such that and also like and yeah there's like other stuff like I agree there are like problems with policing but like yeah I don't think there's many stats to suggest that America is exceptionally bad or even remotely bad.
I
I
mean,
think
that's
maybe
even Bill Maher has like said that he believes that America is like a systemically racist country with like a lot of like systemically like racist issues and like the judge and like the police. There was even like a video of him like he and like a lot of like the guests on his show were like when Chauvin got like arrested, they were like very happy that he got arrested and I mean just because you say defund the police doesn't mean that you want like racist police officers to exist, right? You can be like pro reforming the police or pro reforming the system. Like I for
Hey,
example, I'm
hey,
quite
Connor. Hold on. For let's set aside racist cops. How about sexist and misogynist cops? How
yeah
about ooh. You know where I'm going with this, right? You know
yeah.
where I'm going with this, right?
I'm not, but I want to see.
Yeah.
How about if we had a lot more female police officers do police brutality? That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be fucking hilarious. I would love it.
I
We
thought
need,
this.
we need
I
more
thought.
diverse cops who do police brutality.
No, I thought. No, hold it. I thought. This is what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about like, the police brutality against men. How men are more likely, way more likely to be shot by police than women. Like way more. I mean, and it's the gap is way bigger than black and the whites one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I guess you saw about something
yeah,
else. But that's something that's funny. Like
yeah,
with
yeah. It's I mean like that just proves. I mean, there's no like evidence like or just because there's a disparity, there's discrimination. I mean, like let's be honest, like men commit way more crime. You know, you know, black racial groups in America like commit way more crime. It like there's a pattern there.
Yeah. No, because what again? Yeah, like because Sam Seder, TYT, the lesbian softball player, would they talk? Why don't they ever talk about the men's disparity? Like I remember one episode where the lesbian softball player Kaklinski was on Joe Rogan's show, and they were talking about men's rights, and I was like, I typed in the comment, so will we not talk about the disparity between men are more likely to be sentenced longer sentences for the same sentences as women? And
You, you mean for the same crime?
yeah, and
Okay.
these people completely like obviously Sam Cedar says, oh, it's probably because they are they what's it called again? This is not this is their second offense, or I mean stuff like that, stuff like that. Stuff they wouldn't say for a black person. When in reality, I think this was talking about like same offense, same everything, and you know what I mean. And they just just put all these denials, the same denials that right wing people do for when people say black people get the same get higher sentences than whites for the same crime. You know what I mean? You can see they're
Yeah.
you're hypocrites. Even though for the same crime, the blacks get higher sentences, but with between males and females, the gap is way bigger than even blacks and whites. But they don't talk about it because funny part is nobody likes to talk about the gaps between whites and females, and if they do, they say it's because males commit between males and females. Sorry, I got it. They won't speak about the gaps between males and females in the police system. How males are really get bad police brutality. How if you see the pattern here, besides for
Yeah.
that one lady that was shot by the cops, Breonna Taylor, all of them were male. You know what I mean? But they won't talk about it. If they do, they say, "Oh, it's because males commit more crime." Well, dummy, if somebody said the same thing with blacks, the reason why the reason why blacks are arrested more often and more subject to police brutalities than whites is because they commit more crime. People go crazy. You know what I mean? And just besides for that, and they would say like, "Oh, it doesn't matter that doesn't mean that we should be mean to we should be like it doesn't give a right to the injustice we give to black people." So it's the hypocrisy is very funny how they just excuse anything that goes for the white for the male. I mean for the male because males commit more crime. When if I say the same thing about the other side, you know what I mean? Anyways, let's go. I'm sorry. I hope
Not
I
to
didn't.
mention, sir, can I say one thing quickly about defund the police?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not to mention that defund the police is like a stupidly unpopular idea, even among like black people. The majority of people do not believe in that idea, right? So even if you like maybe agree with like the term, right, it's not a popular policy. Not to mention that I just read a Pew data thing, and it says compared to 2020, higher share of Americans want to see a lot more police spending in their area. And and it also said that black adults, Democrats now much less likely than 2020 to prefer decreased police on spending in their area. So people don't actually want like dramatic reductions in like police spending. They either want either more or they want it to sort of stay the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, Connor. I think I saw the same thing. I didn't actually get a chance to read through it though. But here's just for whatever it's worth to you guys, here's my response to anyone who says hashtag defund the police, hashtag privatize the police. There you
Eh,
go.
I don't know
Eh,
about that.
and that's okay. I'm just saying that's where I'm coming from, and I'll explain to you why. Yeah, it's really simple. If the police are guaranteed, whoever it is, male, female, white, black, whatever, doesn't matter. You know, they are guaranteed a paycheck from other people's tax dollars, right? I mean that's how it works, right? Well, I have to ask you, if they're guaranteed to get paid, whether they're actually doing the good and noble things they originally signed up for the force for, or they're being scumbag pieces of crap and just sleeping in their car somewhere out in the middle of BFE, and when they're not doing that, they're giving people parking tickets for bullshit reasons. Um, it doesn't matter because there's no incentive. They're going to get paid regardless. But if you privatize the police, then they actually have to, I don't know, do their job in order to earn a paycheck voluntarily. Yes?
No, well,
But
just
like
what,
one
just
thing
want to say about. Can I just to say something? The reason why I don't, and I'm as the right wing as it comes to economics. I'm very right wing, in fact. But the thing is, the reason why privatizing the police can't work like privatizing healthcare per se is because if somebody's being attacked by somebody, then the police will have to save him no matter what. You know what I mean? It's key. So everybody's going to be protected by the police no matter
yeah, and
what
not
you do.
not to mention is that in a lot of cases, like if you consider, like, if you, because when you privatize the police, a lot of the policing will be only given to, like, I mean, it's not like I think I'm pretty sure America does have like privatized police, but the thing is that when
There
you
are
have,
actually a few places that do.
yeah. So the thing is, if you have, let's say, pure privatized police, then the police will be highly concentrated in like rich areas that may not have as much crime, that are willing to pay for the police. But if you have, but the means that a lot of like poorer neighborhoods that may or may not be able to afford police, right? Which very some of them can be very high crime neighborhoods. Like they will need policing as well, right? Because a lot of these areas will have a very very high rate of crime. So if you like privatize the police and like these poor areas are not able to get police access, it's only going to make the crime rate worse.
No,
There's also
right,
yeah,
but
there's
I'm going to respond to that. Is that that's not what I think the problem is because we see with
Okay, I'll be
Walmart,
right back in just a
people
second, guys.
people are able to get food and stuff like that. Poor people don't have to suffer from food or water. But I think what is the problem here is, and this is the problem I have with it, is like places like Somalia, they have privatized the police and stuff like that, but it hasn't worked so out well for them. So I'm wondering how will we know it'll work this
I
time?
mean, it's sort of an, I would say it's an essential service. Like one of the roles the government should fulfill is like maintaining law and order. That's one of the things I believe the government should fulfill. And again, the issue with like the issue with, again, privatizing the police is that, and like I said before, that we need a lot of people, like poor people, they shouldn't be having to like pay for like police service, right? If
No, well,
somebody is
no.
attacking their
Well,
house, then
no, I just well, the thing is, I believe poor people could still as you say, with water, the free market has made that water is cheap, and I think they could solve that with the police force. But the thing is,
but it depends. Like,
when you don't have a central government for the police, at least things could get complicated and could get messy. Like who's the law, who's not the law. You know what I'm saying? Should the police stop like a person that's committing abortion? I believe they should. You don't believe so? There's many things, many problems that could come with this whole thing. That's that's what makes it complicated with the
but like
healthcare. It's easy because healthcare doesn't make laws and stuff like that. You could buy, you know what I mean? It doesn't make
but
laws, and
also
not
you can
everybody's gonna
consider that
benefit from it. What's up?
some goods like some goods or services respond differently to like prices. It's a sort of a concept in economics called elasticity. So
Right.
like things that are like generally essential goods like insulin or whatever, the demand won't really change when you have like an increase in price. So like I don't really think that you can say like for, like market forces like regulate pricing and stuff, because a lot of the times that when you have, let's say, police essential, which is essential, you prices won't really matter as much. But like at the same time, people will need that kind of policing service, right? So you can't just say that, well, because maybe there's higher levels of crime, then the policing rate will just,
Right.
Connor.
yep.
Yeah, yeah. If I may, you bring up a valid point. Yes. If if we were to just snap our fingers and overnight all police services were to instantaneously be made private as opposed to government funded, public, so to speak. Okay. You bring up a valid point that yes, what you might see, it's not a guarantee, but you might very well see that a lot of the privatized police, they would be in, the, let's just call it the rich folks area, as opposed to, you know, downtown where, you know, there's a higher rate of crime, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. In observing this and being concerned about this, you're not. What I am going to say, though, is that I wholeheartedly believe that the private sector can and would accommodate for this potential outcome. I really do believe this, and I'll explain to you why. It's the same thing with healthcare. If you simply look back at the early 1900s and medical services. Granted, of course, medical technology wasn't anywhere near what it is today, but still, if you actually look at healthcare and, your doctor, hell, doctors made house calls and not just to rich people, back then. And the thing of it is that there are a lot of options that the private sector, that private enterprise is capable of doing and probably would want to do, if only for the sake of its own benefit.
Yeah.
Does that make
I don't
sense?
disagree. I don't disagree.
Well,
But
this
the
is what I'm gonna
issue
say
is
too,
though,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, the issue is though, like with healthcare, if you like, you can private sector healthcare can have like all these market, you can get like really good stuff for a private healthcare. But at the end of the day, like with a purely privatized healthcare system, what might happen is that a lot of poor people who may need to get healthcare will not be able to get access to it, or will be in massive levels of debt. So like that's the worry. That's the worry with policing as well. Like when it comes
Yes.
to like goods and
And that's not an invalid worry, but here's the thing. And this is exactly what I was talking about just a moment ago. There were mutual aid societies, charities, you name it, that happened voluntarily, specifically to help people that could not help themselves financially.
but we're
And
not
that
banning.
happened then, and I wholeheartedly believe that it would happen now.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
one.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
Just one thing.
Okay, I'm not gonna like super. I mean, I gotta agree with you. The problem is we don't exactly know that these fundings will be like enough for like a lot of the poor people in America. Like you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like free markets are like good and all in the most cases, like in like consumer goods and services. But if you don't have that alternative where people can get it for like free, or like people should be able to get that kind of service, then you're gonna have a lot of people who probably need that kind of good or service that are not going to be able to get it. And this, I would usually not believe this view for like a lot of things, but in some cases for like even healthcare, like I'm for in healthcare, I would say I'm like pro public option as well.
And that's fine. That
Yeah,
is that is
I
fine.
would
I
prefer
understand where you're
well.
coming from.
Like
I'm
I
just
would
saying
prefer
I
the Catholic as
wholeheartedly
well. Like
believe that it can be dealt with by the private sector,
yeah, I don't
probably
disagree
more
either.
efficiently.
That
That's all
that's
I'm
but
saying.
if people don't have the option to play for the private sector, then the government, then like I don't see why not the government should not come in and have like an aspect of it. Like, so if people want to pay for private police, you go for it. It's up to you, right? But if people are not able to pay for private police, then they should also have the option of the government funded police.
No,
And,
well,
and I think I see where you're coming from, Connor.
well,
I think I do.
no. This is one thing I don't. But first of all, I'm gonna say is that technology doesn't make stuff more expensive. It actually makes stuff cheaper. So in that
Yeah.
case, Mikhail, a little bit wrong. Like it should be cheaper. The reason it's not cheaper is because of Medicare and Medicaid. But the thing is
Well,
it's
that would be because of government interference in the market.
yeah, of
To
course,
be
of course.
fair.
Yeah, but one thing I'm just gonna say here is that some stuff I don't know how it's possible. Like police, I can sort of get how it's possible, but still, there's some issue because I don't believe that being a good citizen should be, you should be punished for being a good citizen. If somebody's a bad citizen to you, I don't think you should have to pay money to get him in trouble. But as you say, you're gonna have to pay for it anyways. People will pay for it. But let's not get there. But with the military, how do you make it private? Because everybody's gonna be protected by that military that you make. If somebody makes a private military to destroy North Korea, then who's gonna pay for it? Because
Well, okay. Real quick question for you, Toasted.
she was a
Who says we need to destroy North Korea?
no, just in general. I'm just giving you another or just anything.
Okay.
Just
Okay. Cool.
nice-
I was about to say, did we declare war? Is that what happened? Oh God.
No, just like I don't know. Let's say somebody wants to attack America, and there's a private military who wants to save America. Everybody, even their non-customers, will be saved by it. So what's the point of paying for it if you get
Oh
me
yeah,
or no?
public goods and merit goods, where like it's not possible for like maybe the police or military to like prevent other people from benefiting from their services, so it isn't as profitable for them to start up like private police and private military. So there'll be less private military and private police, hence monopolies and higher prices. Wait, actually, but yeah.
It's an interesting topic to discuss.
Yeah.
In fact, we really should do another stream on this and
Yeah.
and related topics at another point, because that this is actually very interesting.
Yeah. I
But
like,
but
focus
but
on
let's get
made a
back to the
but
video before we like
yeah,
totally lose it.
yeah.
All right. But don't get me wrong, guys. Good points on all of your parts. You do have
Yeah,
good points.
including yours.
All right, and roll it.
Justice, in terms of social justice, in terms of like, are there specific people who?
Does anyone else hate when someone says social justice, or is it just me?
Yeah,
When lefties say it, sure, I hate it.
I hate it.
I
Ruins
really hate that terminology.
It ruins everything, in my opinion.
It means
Okay.
nothing to me.
Okay, good. It's not just me. Okay, moving on.
Who are subjected to different treatment from police. There is no possible metric. It's a big drug legalization guy. He doesn't have to go far in his canon to find this this information.
What? That's a completely different topic.
If you're going to,
what
Like,
the
there's
hell did he just say?
I mean, that's a law. That's not necessarily policing. Like policing behavior rather than like general laws. Blame the like legislative like body. Actually, this is kind of like the idea, the paradigm where like the left say the right are blaming immigrants, where it's actually the businesses. This could be a similar paradigm where the left are blaming the police when they should actually blame the lawmakers. I mean, like as Cheng says, look up, not down.
Well,
So, like,
okay. If I can, speak up for just a second on that point,
Sorry.
Darren, and just give me a second here. That's the big dilemma there. There are, I don't know how many memes that say effectively the same thing. I'm just going to say it. Without cops, politicians would just be guys with bad ideas.
Fair enough.
I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's kind of a chicken and egg situation here.
This is not even like a rebuttal. Like, so you said, okay, I don't like defunding the police. Oh wow, you believe in injustices? Oh my god, look at these injustices. You don't you think these injustices are valid? Oh my god, look at these injustices. Like,
Yeah, you're absolutely right,
yeah, he's
Connor. This is
anti,
not a
like,
rebuttal to anything thus far. Yeah, I have yet to hear anything even close to a rebuttal
it's like
or a
that Kathy
debunking
Newman
of
thing.
anything.
It's like that Kathy Newman thing. It's like Jordan Peterson says that I believe that men and women are equals. Oh, so you believe that women should be genocided? That kind
Appeal to emotion, appeal to emotion, appeal to emotion. Meh, meh, meh. That's basically all I'm hearing from Mr. Seder thus far. And we are just over 5 minutes into a 15-minute video. So, yeah. You're going to make a point at some point, dude? It's like where's the argument here? What are you talking about?
Good question. I'm trying to find the argument too. It's like finding the One Piece.
All right. Anybody else got anything, or should I roll it?
Yeah, keep it.
And we're rolling.
Like, you don't like the slogan, fine. But to pretend like I don't understand what this means or what it's about, and this is brand new, and this.
Okay, is it just me, or is he vaguely trying to put words in other people's mouths at this point?
Well, actually, he has an interesting point. We should let him like finish for a few more seconds. Then we'll.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, my bad.
It's not like, I don't know. I think there's been people who have problem with the police.
Yeah, I think I remember a phrase called "fuck the police" from the 1990s.
I remember a phrase like "hey pigs," that type of thing. Like, that's not a new term. I don't think that was a term of endearment.
All of a sudden, people started
defunding the police.
Yeah, very strange. And then this idea of like,
that's
5 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Like, there's a difference between a couple of people saying like "fuck the police" versus like a mainstream movement supported by like politicians of like a very famous political party saying it. That's the difference, right?
And also, like a lot. Sure, you might have like maybe black, teenagers back from like the 90s saying "f the police," but like when you get to like more moderate, not really moderate, but like just like Democrat, like like Americans, like
Okay, Theron, hold on. When you say Democrats, are you talking like late 80s into early 90s Democrats, or are we talking modern day Democrats? Because I'm pretty sure there's a divide there.
Yeah, well, I guess not only some older Democrats, but even some more moderate Democrats who might like not like the racial disparities, but like are generally like not okay with like limiting policing activities in their own like high crime like neighborhoods, or maybe not even just high crime, maybe the crime rates are low because of the police.
Yeah, but
So
what,
they'd want that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing I was gonna say here is that like,
What you got?
don't get me wrong, there was a fraction of Democrats that was always anti the police, even in the '90s and '80s.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, police used to be, and I know this because I had a neighbor that was police. They used to be actually Democrats, most police officers, if that makes sense. Until the whole Black Lives Matter movement thing, they used to all be Democrats. Now they became more Republican, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
So they
you got
shifted
mainstream. You got
slightly
like
to the right. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
So,
that,
more
maybe,
right.
that's how I feel. Maybe I'm getting a wrong. I don't have statistics to back this up, but from what I saw, majority of police had like Barack Obama stickers, stuff like that. But after the whole Black Lives Matter thing, they sort of like,
Well, yeah.
Like you live in
No
the like
offense.
south
No
or north.
offense, Toasted.
because, um,
If I can just interject for a second. Yeah. No offense, Toasted, but honestly, that doesn't really come as much of a surprise. Given that I'm guessing you're talking about during Obama's term, yes?
yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing there is that this really doesn't come as much of a surprise, given that, as I already said before, their paycheck, their salary is guaranteed by the government. And oh, yeah, who's the chief executive of the executive branch of the government during that time period? There you go.
Well,
You
no,
know,
but
so,
also,
huh? Yeah,
but
go
also I
ahead.
gotta say is that Democrats, usually union workers and all these, government workers favor Democrats because Democrats tend to favor them and stuff like that.
Some of them, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
You are not wrong.
Yeah, that's like
Uh,
that's one of the reasons I don't get with Bernie Sanders wants to make a automatically federal job for everybody, which is stupid. Like, what if they do a horrible job? Should we just give them a job? Which is something that's like got me a little bit upset. I don't know if you guys know. Like in my house, near my house, they're fixing the roads, right? Well, it's taking
Okay.
them forever, and they're leaving all their garbage, all their tractor stuff like that.
Well, what a dick.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I know they have to fix the roads. Don't get me wrong; it's better than like not fixing the roads. But it's like it just gets on my nerve. Like, want to call luckily this is local. Not if this is federal, you can't do anything about it. But this is local, because like this has pissed me off. Like I have to walk to my work and my shoes get dirty. I know this is first world problems, but yeah, just a rant here. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't get too much off top. But it's like something like
No, you're fine, dude.
yeah. No, but it's like
This is an open discussion, bro.
Yeah, Rohan can't relate.
First world.
God.
I mean, I'm from India too, as well. So, like, yeah.
Okay, we gotta get all you guys like over here. Like, Toasted, you're in New York, right?
I'm in the Midwest.
Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought you were somewhere in that general ballpark. Okay, we gotta get all of you guys, and this includes you, Toasted, down here to Texas. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Trust me, you will love it here. It is awesome.
I'd like to go
The problem
I
is
would
the
like to
heat.
go to
Like I they'll other than the heat, I think I'll love it. Like, but like I have a very weak body. But yeah, we'll discuss like harsh climate conditions.
Oh, and Theron, this especially goes for you because I'm taking your ass to the gun range. I'm taking your ass to the gun range, and you're
What about
gonna
me?
love it, dude. I promise. Yes,
Why not
all of
me?
you. Yeah, I will get everybody 100 rounds of 9mm, 45, 30-06 if you want. I don't care. I will get. You will put 100 rounds down range all together, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it.
That would have been way much more easier back when the wintertime when the tickets are cheap. Now they have skyrocketed the plane
Well,
tickets.
everything's skyrocketed, unfortunately. But guess what? I don't care. I'll do it anyways. I'll do it anyways. I want all of you guys down here in Texas, like yesterday, would be good.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do have
an idea of letting kids.
Sorry, my bad.
No, what? Maybe we could speak about this after the stream. I do have an idea for this channel, but we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No problem, bro. All right, let's roll on so that maybe can get through this.
Yeah.
We're literally breaking this down like in 10-second increments.
Choose their gender was not a thing. Do you know what else wasn't happening 10 years ago or 12 years ago? That was the right of gay people to marry. In fact, 15 years ago, you'll recall Bill Maher, maybe it was like 16 or 17 years ago, the president of the country wanted to amend the Constitution to prevent people from marrying people of the same sex.
I'm sorry, what?
And like that's not Bill Maher is pro gay marriage.
Yeah.
It's an
I think
argument
In
against
what,
gay marriage.
in what way is this an
What do you-
argument against Bill Maher?
Like, I mean, it's specifically talking about like 3-year-olds trying to like change their gender or something. I mean, look, I mean, if you want to like just say, "Oh, I'm a girl, I'm a boy," like who cares? Nothing can stop you. But like, there's a different argument to be made when you want to say like 3-year-olds should be like being medical surgery because like a lot of I believe I don't know, don't quote me on this stat because I believe when it comes to like gender dysphoria, a lot of like kids when they say they have gender dysphoria, they sort of grow out of it. It's like if you're giving like really young kids like a street kind of treatment and it's like it's gonna be hard to reverse, then it's gonna cause problems.
be
So,
fair, I didn't.
That's like the main argument, isn't it?
Yeah, well, one thing I'll
This
say,
is kind
like,
of embarrassing to say, but when I was like a dumb 5-6-year-old kid, I was wondering if I was a girl. But I also picked my nose. I'm not very like reliable or intelligent at that time.
Darren,
I mean,
you're
5-year-old
a little kid.
5-year-old should be like
It's
that.
okay,
It's not
dude.
uncommon for a 5-year-old. It's not uncommon for a 5-year-old.
No, one thing I'm gonna say is that like, if this is like confuses kids, if somebody would tell me like you could become a girl or boy, that would like really confuse me when I was a child. No, but sorry, one thing I just don't get, like these whole liberals that say we should give puberty blockers and stuff like that for little kids. Like what? Like I heard this from Hunter Evelyn. The puberty blockers are completely okay. They don't do any damage to you. Like one thing I'll ask, if that's the case, then why can't we? Should we just give it to child actors, stuff like that want to, you know what I mean? If there's no harm, then I could just give it to a child actor, because many child actors grew up and it really changes the TV series. Should we give them puberty blockers because, as you say, it doesn't really affect them? It just continues their puberty like nothing ever has happened, even if you know what I'm saying? Like, you got
Well,
me. Like,
if it, I guess maybe the word would be extends or extenuates, the general time period of puberty. Well, then obviously it does change something right off the bat.
Yeah, it does. Like, you can't tell me that if I take when I'm 10 years old and then I get off it when I'm 20 years old, that the puberty is going to be totally normal. No, some stuff won't be able to, it really will screw up my puberty. I'm not, you know what I mean? You can't tell me that. And if this was the case, they allow child actors to get it. Just, how about you just put it over the counter? Just allow anybody to get it. As you say, it won't affect them. They'll just have puberty later on in life. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. In my mind, people that give, do these stuff for a child, I know this is controversial, they should be hanged. This is one thing you shouldn't, like, you're like, children do not have the capacity to know about, like, what they are at such a young age, or even at teenagers. People assume,
I wouldn't say hanged, but like,
yeah, I would say, like, I mean, like, I know this is controversial, like, with anything, like, people assume, like, you're giving too much credit to teenagers. Me, as a teenager, I changed a lot of my mindset since I was a teenager. Yeah. Teenagers are not the most stable people, and you're just allowing them to make decisions.
Well,
I mean, there probably comes an age where like people should be able to make like free reign over these kind of choices.
Connor, hold on. I was going to say something. No, you're good. Toasted. To be fair, and I can say this from personal experience, people in their early 20s are also not the most stable people, by those metrics either. Yeah, I can tell you this. I changed majors in college like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even close to kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Connor. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I mean, I think there should be like, I mean, in that's I don't even when it comes. Sorry, I'm a bit stumbling here, but there probably comes an age, I would say like maybe 15 or 16, where people sort of get an idea that they should get more autonomy over their body. In that sense, and when it comes to like really young kids, like I sort of understand why like parents would want to make decisions, but like when it comes to like 14 or 15, I feel like people like, despite the fact that they may not know maybe like a lot about the world or they may not have enough maturity, and like they're old enough to probably be. They should be also be allowed to make decisions like for themselves as well.
14 and 15-year-olds, that's still pretty early. When I was 14, 15-year old, I wanted to get a liposuction. Even though I might didn't really need one, it would be dangerous for me. You have to realize that these people, what makes them feel like they could be happy, won't make them feel happy. No, this is controversial. Like people assume that that's why many transgender people are like very sad.
Yeah.
Many
They also,
people,
because I mean, it could also be because a lot of it's a lot of like discrimination in society as well. I mean, you
well,
can't really say that.
well, I agree with you there, but it's also because like when you have a disorder, you think something could fix you, but it's not the case necessarily. That
I mean, it could. I mean, if they feel like they'll be happier being a boy or a girl, then like we should be in no position to like say that, oh, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. Like especially
well,
for like consenting adults. Like
right.
like if you're like old enough to make that decision, let's say you're 18 or 19-year old, you want to transition, and you might think, oh, it might make you unhappy. That's not really a judgment call for us to make, isn't it?
No. I absolutely agree with you. I don't
Of
believe
course.
if a person wants to become a transgender as an adult or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care at all. You're not. It does nothing to do with me. I don't care. But what I'm trying to say is that like kids stuff like that, I don't think it's going to help your situation at all if you're a kid. Because it's like a person saying like, um, there are people like saying like, if I believe that if I had a dog, like a kid says, if I had a dog, this would make me completely happy,
Yeah.
and to get a dog and they're still miserable. That's what I'm just trying to say is it doesn't fix everything, and children have this false sense of thinking if they get something they'll be happy when it's not true. Adults, it's better for adults. Adults are able to comprehend that, but kids are not able to comprehend that. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
there is a difference between like gender, what gender you identify with, and actually transitioning. So like, I think Bill was specifically here talking about like, well, kids can like decide what gender they are, which is, I mean, a bit different from like transitioning. If someone just wants to like a boy just wants to, like 3-year-old want to like wear a skirt and say I feel like a girl now, that's different from like not forcing them, but like making them like to perform surgery, and that might change them into that or might affect their puberty, right?
Yeah.
Like I see no issue. Like if a kid just wants to like hang around as a girl, it's not it's fine. I mean, I don't think it's even harming them if that's what they feel like they want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much off
Um,
topic, but I have a question for Connor. Sort of a question that Adam, what's his name again? Walsh, I think, asked, which I don't agree with everything he says, but this thing I think
Matt
was
Walsh.
yeah, Matt Walsh. Sorry, so much I care for
yeah,
him, but
you're talking about Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire.
Oh, is that that interview with that
yeah,
two
yeah,
transgender
yeah.
people?
But one thing he said that was really good. That was actually I didn't agree with everything he said. But one thing I do agree with is that he said that like, what is a girl? And they couldn't answer him because these leftists they have gone so far left on this case that they
I
made that
mean,
you can't. Once you say that gender doesn't exist, that there's no such thing as sex and stuff like that, then you get rid of, then you can't even know what a girl is if that makes sense. So
I mean, what you can
Okay,
answer is that
okay. Hold on a second, Toasted. In the spirit of fairness, I don't think they're saying that biological sex in and of itself doesn't exist. At least not that I've seen.
okay, but
I
no,
could
no,
be wrong.
I mean,
I
no,
could be wrong, but I don't think
some
that's
people
what
said
they're
some
saying.
people
You know,
in a
th-
joint
th-
Maybe
what
opinion,
what
that's
they're
one
what
person
they're
said.
doing what they're doing is they're differentiating between biological sex, aka XX chromosome pairing equals female, XY
right.
chromosome pairing equals male. Yes.
No. But
Uh,
yeah, I get what you're
but
saying.
they're
I'm talking about it gender
differentiating
wise.
between they're talking about gender,
Right, I agree.
and that's all I was pointing out because you know in maybe not in everyone's minds, I don't know, but in their minds there is
Yeah.
a very distinct line between biological sex versus gender, if that
You're
makes
Yeah, I
sense.
think gender
you're
is more
not
to do with like identification and like how you express yourself. So like if someone feel like there's some things we generally associate with femininity and some things we generally associate with masculinity. And I think to a degree like there might be some biological ingrainings to it, I guess. But like
no
it sort of depends. There are like exceptions to the rule. So like when they say what is a woman in that sense, you could either say well someone with specific genetics or phenotype. But in the case of gender, you can say that someone who presents themselves as someone like an average biological woman would,
no
right?
no no
Yeah, but
no
why
no.
does gender
There's,
matter in that case if it's just so socially constructed?
yeah, no, but
What,
this was
what,
this
what do you
one
mean
brother.
it's not a matter of matters. It's a matter of like, well, if I want to present myself as a woman, like if I want to like say wear a skirt, who cares,
No, but
right?
But
this is what Matt Walsh was trying to say is that in the gender sense, what defines a woman, and they can tell you what defines a woman in the gender sense because if they believe, like I can still have a beard and still be considered a woman, basically, what makes a woman if women
It's
is
up
just
to
an,
them
is,
what it's up to them what they feel like. They
Woman
identify
with
as
a
a woman.
beard,
They
holy
feel like
crap.
being a woman.
Damn.
This is like being a
I'm
woman.
sorry, I have to laugh at that.
no,
It's like
because like these people like what was trying. Bob Walsh was talking about gender as well. In terms of gender, I'm saying what defines a woman. If you just believe that I could just be like just it's whatever I feel that day, then what is a woman? It's just if you say it's how I
I don't
feel
think it needs
like.
to be. I don't think it needs to be clearly defined. It's up to the person what they feel a woman is, and like, what if someone's saying, I feel like a woman. There's a gender is a woman, right? And it may not be a woman themselves.
Well,
They
okay,
feel like
Connor,
a specific.
hold on a second. Again, in the spirit of fairness, I'm gonna pose to you the same dilemma that I just posed to Toasted. Okay, are we talking about biology? Are we talking about chromosomes? Are we talking about vagina, uterus, that whole
Yeah.
thing?
No. I'm going to
Or are
clarify
we
that.
talking about expression? Are we talking?
Expression.
Oh, okay.
So what I
There
meant to
we
say
go.
was that if someone feels like they want to express themselves as a woman, they may not have to be a clear line as to what is. You can't really define a blanket like how does a woman express themselves, right? What like apart from like biology, you can't really say that this is how a woman expresses themselves, right? Because there's a lot of variance. But some people, let's say, if they want to express themselves as a woman, feel like okay, a woman probably follows this. They may wear a skirt.
Hey,
They may
Darren, you
present
want in
themselves
on this?
No, but this is, I'm just gonna say this to response to Connor is that like I know I hear what it's saying. They say Riley J. Dennis explained this. There's a difference between gender expression and gender. But the thing is, gender expression has to do with what the gender is. And even if your gender expression is a boy and you consider yourself a girl, then what is a girl? You know what I mean? Because you're acting like a boy, you're into boy stuff. You know what I mean?
It's up to what the person think. Like, what if someone is identifying with a gender that they are not like assigned to at birth, let's say, or their biological sex is. It's up to their interpretation, which is largely societal or what society thinks. Like sometimes they may present themselves as
Hey
looking
guys.
feminine.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Moments like this remind me why I am so ungodly thankful that I am an ANCAP stray cat pirate.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about this crap.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
I'm sorry.
I don't really care about this either. As long as
Yeah.
I don't only with children. I don't think we should try to confuse children. But if an adult wants to become a man or a woman, I really don't care. I know some people.
Yeah,
don't
it's
care
like a
about-
libertarian view of mine. But like,
Yeah.
hopefully, no hard feelings, Toasted.
No.
Hopefully, we can still be friends. I like to think this debate was quite civil and quite productive. So
Yeah, no.
I thought it was very good, to
yeah, it
be
was-
perfectly
I,
honest.
I don't mind the
Just for some
debate.
comic relief.
Yeah.
I don't mind the big debates, but I want to finish the Seder video first and save the debates for future streams. If I'm being honest, I don't want to be rude, but I just
nah, it's all good.
No. We're good. You're right. We're not even halfway through.
Yeah, but we should
this.
have the Ukraine policing and trans streams debates.
Maybe we should set up another stream for later today. Maybe we should do that because that'd be totally cool.
Maybe,
Maybe, but I don't have any more time today, and also this time roughly is the best time to
I got you.
time zones.
No, but I'll just say this. Trust me, Connor, this is not the worst debate, uncivilized debate I had. If you check my Twitter account, my old
Oh yeah,
Twitter
to
account,
Twitter I have a bunch of I'm so glad I left the hell site because that was not fun.
I had some
Come back,
bad.
please. We're all alone.
No, I
Yes,
had
we're
some.
with
I had
more.
some.
We're all alone.
I'm
No,
much
I had-
happier now.
No, I had some pretty bad debates on the internet. I had some pretty bad debates where people literally insult me and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I've been insulted. I've been called. a lot
You're
of
not
things.
alone, dude. You're not alone, dude.
We were the Invictus Media thing was called a group with neo Nazis, even though it included an ANCAP, a Sri Lankan person, and an Indian liberal.
Yes. I remember to this day, like it was yesterday. Okay, let's see. We've got an ANCAP stray cat pirate. We've got a Midwestern conservative. Yeah, is that a fair description, Toasted?
yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay. A Midwestern Jewish conservative. We've got a British small government libertarian. We've got a Sri Lankan conservative. And we've got, an Indian liberal in the classical sense
Yeah,
who happens to study in Australia. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking for this-
All of those elements walk into a bar. Clearly, it's a Nazi rally.
Yeah. No, well, and then
Clearly,
also,
it's a Nazi rally.
also,
P.S. I'm also the Sri Lankan conservative and the British libertarian, but
no,
Okay,
also,
okay. I stand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
no, also, I have saw Thurin, Connor, and Rohan, and trust me, they're anything but white. They are. If you see their skin, you'll know that they're not white, unless you're colorblind. You'd think they're white. Yeah. Sorry, I hope I didn't insult anybody.
Anyway, yeah, should we continue with the video or we should?
Yeah.
We can probably watch a little bit more because I probably have to leave in a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm just gonna be off for a few seconds or minutes, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should wait?
Yeah, we can. I think we can continue. We'll try to get as much as done possible.
We can continue?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's up to you guys. I'm just hosting this because honestly, this is the first time seeing this, and thus far, I am seriously not impressed with Sam Seder, but that comes as no surprise to me at this point.
I'm being honest with you. I find this video extremely boring, which I mean, it's just Sam Seder in general. He's just a boring person, but I regress. You can continue.
Honestly, from what I've seen, and I've seen quite a bit, you're not wrong, Toasted. And in this particular instance, we are 6 minutes and 11 seconds into this, and thus far, pretty much all I've heard out of this guy's mouth is appeal to emotion, appeal to emotion, appeal to emotion, wah, wah, wah. I have yet to hear anything even close to a rebuttal or debunking or anything of this sort.
Yeah.
In regards to Bill Maher,
Yeah.
what is he going on about?
Yeah, exactly. I wish we could put this in triple speed if I'm being honest, because yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Let's see.
Max is 2.
1.5.
Okay, 1.5. We can do that. Okay. You guys want to continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to stay for a few minutes though, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. We are golden. Boom. No, I do not want annotation. Go away. Thank you.
I mean, there was a time where there was never, ever, ever, ever a black woman who sat on the Supreme Court. Oh, wait, that time is now. And hopefully in 6 months, that won't be the case. I mean, this idea that...
Hopefully, I don't care.
They changed it.
I mean, black women are also 6%
What is the
of the
day that's going on?
population. Maybe that has to do with it, is that black women are only 6% of the population, literally, so, you know.
Yeah, that couldn't possibly have anything at all to do with it, meh.
Yeah.
Wokeism is no different than politically correct. You had a show that was called Politically Incorrect. You've always been an ass. Now, to some extent, he's accurate about that.
Okay, did he just say what I think he just said?
Yeah.
Being politically incorrect means you're an ass. Wow. Okay.
And also, Sam calling other people an ass is like insanely so rich.
Yeah.
How long,
I mean,
for how long has he been bothering? Like, look, I think that Stephen Crowder was like dumb for rejecting his debate, but how much has he been like bothering one dude over like a single debate? Right?
Yeah.
Just leave him alone. You don't have to
I'll be
pester
right
a guy
back. Hang
for
on.
a debate.
Yeah, and let's not to mention how much he's been stalking Dave Rubin. There's more channels of Dave Rubin than Dave Rubin's other channel. And let's not and there's debate with what he did with Stephen Crowder was right or not, but he was completely being an ass what he did to Stephen Crowder, just showing up there 1 second, which you could say was funny or not, that's up for debate, but that was completely being an ass. This was the definition of being an ass, just ambush him like that behind Chris.
I'm not sure. I think Ethan would be at fault for that. I'm not sure about Seder since
that was such a dick move by Ethan, 100%.
Yeah.
You told Steven you were gonna debate and you just bring some other dude.
Yeah. I think Seder won from that, but Ethan and Crowder lost from that.
You just how pathetic of a person do you have to be? Harass a person to that level over a stupid internet debate.
Yeah.
It's literally an internet debate, my guy. Literally just an internet debate. Okay, look.
I think maybe
Crowder, whatever, but grow the hell up. You're 50. So immature over fucking internet politics.
Oh yeah, he's Crowder's 20 years younger than Seder.
Huh?
Yeah, Crowder's 20 years younger than Seder.
But like even in why you like who cares? It's just an internet debate. You don't have to harass someone over it.
Yeah, I sort of wish instead of harassing conservative people like Nick Fuentes does, like I wish he would actually go after these clearly bad people like Cenk or Sam Seder or because these people I actually don't consider them. And it's not just because I don't like them political views. I don't consider them good people. Like Cenk Uygur, the amount of lying he does, he's not a good person. The amount of fake news he does and how he just tries to fit his own agenda, the way he speaks about the other side, I don't see him as a good person. Maybe I'm just being biased, but I mean,
No offense, Toasted, but I'm just gonna say this now. Chunky yogurt is to well, let's just say
He's probably the best in TYT.
I guess the word would be missing link tech. But chunky yogurt is to missing link tech what Mr. Potato Head, aka Brain Stelter, is to CNN. I mean, let's be real. That's who we're dealing with.
yeah,
I mean, to be fair though, Cenk is probably the most reasonable and like smartest person in TYT. Cenk and Anna probably like the only
That's
people,
not
like,
saying
have
much,
some-
dude. I'm just
I mean, like
saying.
they're the only people like who have some semblance of being like somewhat moderate. Well, almost everyone in like TYT otherwise is like just 100% like a communist. Like Jimmy Dore was there. He's
I
basically
think one of the
you're not
smallest
wrong
Michael
there.
used to be there.
I think one of the smallest
Hassan's like
people.
full blown commie. Hassan's a full blown commie.
Yeah, I think one of the smallest people on like TYT was rarely at TYT, and that was like Kyle Kulinski, but like he lost his, but like Cenk like basically like kicked him out, for because like Cenk and Kyle were like on like different intellectual lanes.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I'll have to go. If
Okay.
that's okay.
Okay.
It's getting a bit late over here.
Hey, have a good one, Connor. And
Yeah,
thanks for
see you
joining
guys.
us for 6 minutes and 42 seconds worth of this video.
If possible, we can hopefully, we can do a part 2 of this if you guys want it down.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll see like how we progress for this Seder stream. Do you want to like do another stream same time next week?
I mean, the thing is, what I really wanted to talk about today was about the Dave Rubin story because it was really spoke about a lot on Twitter. I wanted to speak about that sort of, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can always, switch lanes if you guys want. No problem.
Because
like I said, I'm just hosting this.
Because Mark Dice made a video on it because I'm not sure if you guys, I don't want to know.
Yeah, I saw his tweet.
Yeah, and because like this is the thing. So Dave Rubin adopted this. It basically was from a surrogate. Him and his husband, made kids, which I don't agree with surrogacy. I don't agree with IVF stuff like that. I don't believe that. I know this is controversial. I believe that we should have a two-parent household. We should have like men and women should adopt, and even single. We shouldn't even allow single parents to adopt. But that's just me. I know this is a controversial issue, and but I think Mark Dice was like complaining that conservatives weren't attacking Dave Rubin, which
Wait, Mark Dice was complaining that conservatives weren't attacking
Dave Rubin. Yeah, I mean, but, well, I just
he was complaining, quote unquote, that who was that guy? That whitehead guy gone woke. He's basically the leader of the Blaze. What was he?
Okay, Theron, do me a favor. If you have pen and paper handy, great. If not, please take a screenshot. We're at 6 minutes and 42 seconds into this, and with Connor gone, honestly, I really want to change lanes because I want to investigate this, Toasted. Because wait, what?
Let me speak to you about can I just tell you something because I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't agree with. I know this is controversial. I know I might get canceled for this. I believe that a man and a woman should adopt the child. I believe that only a man and a woman could really raise a child. I believe that nothing against gay people, but I believe if I was raised by a household of two moms or two fathers, I would be a little bit miserable because I would either be striving for a mother or a father, if that makes sense. And, it's nothing against gay people whatsoever. I also not so agree with the whole IVF thing. I believe it creates a bad precedent. I don't believe we should be designing babies, stuff like that. But that's just me. I don't hate. I don't have anything against whatever. I know it's just
No, you speak freely, dude. We're the free thinkers. You're free to say. You're free to think whatever you want, and I've heard way weirder and more egregious things than that.
Yeah, so but I believe that I believe that you can't. I believe that we should, for the sake of the children, we should allow them to have a mother and a father because a man can never be a mother, and a mother can never be a father, and that's just the reality of the situation. Nothing against those people, but you know what I mean. And I don't agree with IVF because it destroys the zygote, and it's also designer, and it's also creates a bad president. I believe, you know what I mean. It creates, and what if the child? There's many reasons why I'm not for it, but I regress on this subject. But bottom line is, Mark Davis complained that nobody was criticizing him, and that PragerU was like congratulating him, and many people were congratulating him on Twitter. And this is what, and after I thought about this a little bit, but this is the reality of the situation: is that the reason why, even though they might disagree with gay adoption and conservatives, they won't say anything because they're friends with Dave Rubin and they don't want to be a
Yeah.
jerk. That's just common practice, common practice by people. If I'm a friend of somebody, I just don't want to be like, a jerk to them. You know what I mean? Like with just
Yeah.
any case, you know what I mean? Like how can this? Let's say this is what Dave and his husband are doing. How is confronting them going to help the situation? They're literally, I mean, they literally can't do anything about it. So I don't know what
Yeah.
Dave wants them to do. Just like create a. But like I have a video from Mark Dice and from Sam Seder, which was pretty pathetic from Sam Seder because Mark Dice was complaining that conservatives weren't criticizing, and Sam Seder was complaining that the conservatives were criticizing Dave Rubin too much. It was sort of, and Dave Rubin sort of handled this poorly by blaming the left on the criticism for some criticism he got from this audience, which was
Okay.
pathetic.
Okay, real quick, Toasted. I'm gonna look up Mark Dice. What am I looking for here?
I actually have the link of it if you want.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. Just send that to me. You
There's
have my
this guy
alt.
called AJ Patella who like commented like on your I don't know, on your stream. Like you could check on like the comments section and maybe respond.
Hold on. Oh, holy crap! That's AJ. Awesome. That's actually my younger brother, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, I kind of just outed myself. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I have doxed myself before by mistake, by accident, so it's all fine.
I have my full name, so I'm already like primed for a doxing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that did, but whatever. Okay. Okay. Where were we, Toasted? What am I looking for here?
Go just click on the link. Okay. Mark Dice Dave Rubin. Just put that Mark Dice Dave Rubin note.
Oh,
you
I'm
want?
sorry.
Yeah, it's in the private chat of the stream yard thing. The stream yard thing.
Oh, it's on the stream. Okay, I am not sure what I'm looking for here. No, I am not seeing it anywhere. What am I looking for here?
Go to the private chat. Go to the private chat.
Private chat. Where's that?
Next to comments.
Next to what?
How about if I just DM it to you? I'll just DM it to you on.
Yeah. I was gonna say just DM it to me.
Yeah. Because actually, I have to go soon too.
Yeah.
So let's just do this quickly because I have to in like 10 minutes. I have to
Yeah. So let's go ahead and knock this out. Yeah, just DM it to me. You have my alt account, right?
Yeah, for sure.
At not Mikhail the cat.
Yeah, maybe we can even end this right now and just react to it later. But one sec, I want 1 second. 1 second. I hate. You have so many. By the way, you have a lot of tabs on your computer. How do you keep up with all this? Everyone, 1 second. Here it goes. Yeah, just. Yeah, I DM'd it to you right now. Oh, sending. It got it to you.
Above.
Okay. PragerU and the Blaze go full woke. Awesome
Okay.
sauce. This should be good. All right, let's check this out. This should be great. Come on. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank-
this is Governor Ron DeSantis. We are
Hi,
fighting the
Ron.
good fight in the state of Florida, and the left and the corporate media do not like that
And
one.
we're skipping this.
PragerU, The Blaze, and many other brand name conservative pundits have just gone woke, mega woke. Those on the supposed front lines of the culture war, those who have denounced elementary school
crap,
kids
that's
being
loud.
indoctrinated with gender identity and LGBTQ propaganda, those who have denounced teachers for coming out as gay to their students on TikTok, those who claim to be fighting to preserve and protect the nuclear family are now congratulating YouTuber Dave Rubin and his partner, who he calls his husband, after they announced that the couple had just bought some woman's eggs at a fertility clinic and are renting two different women's wombs as surrogates who will then implant them with artificially inseminated eggs to grow their...
I'm sorry, say what?
I actually tweeted this because it's just as a joke. It's like, how am I going to just ask? Because it was a little bit yeah, I know how they did it, but it was just confusing how they both were able to have kids. You know, but I regress. It's just an immature joke, anyways.
No, you're fine.
What?
All right.
Do I have to
Roll
go-
film.
I see. 5 minutes, okay, or no?
As soon as possible.
Yeah, okay, fine. So I'll try to get it done in 5 minutes.
Okay, I take it you gotta go here in a second, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, I have to go.
All right.
Maybe
All right, let's go ahead and see what we can knock out of this.
Yeah.
Your children, who will thus be deprived of having a mother in their lives within hours after being born, and instead turned over to two gay men to raise as theirs. The same people who talk about fatherlessness being a huge social problem are celebrating Dave Rubin creating a motherless home after he and his partner announced PragerU, the prestigious conservative institution, congratulated them, along with The Blaze, Glenn Beck's media company, Breitbart's Joel Pollack, critical race theory expert Chris Rufo, Megyn Kelly, Meghan McCain, Kat Timp, and many others. Someone made this meme, which is accurate. I like your gay pride shirt, it says. Now, this is not about gay marriage or two consenting adults in a relationship anymore. It's about depriving children of their mothers. It's about two wealthy narcissistic men willingly bringing children into the world through art.
I'm sorry. Did he? Hold on.
Sorry.
Did Mark Dice just call Dave Rubin a narcissist?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that was like immature of him to say that. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I do agree with some of the points he is saying here.
Fair enough.
If we want to, like, conservatives always talk about fatherless households and how it's important to have a mother and father, yet they support two women adopting a child, which I find that is hypocritical. And I also do agree that, you know, having them not seeing their mother is, you know, I agree with some of the stuff he is saying here. But the thing is, he doesn't have to be such a jerk about it. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
and also I'm not sure if I'd want to like legally enforce like stopping like same-sex couples from adopting. I
can tell you right now, I wouldn't.
Yeah, of
but
course.
then again, you're dealing with an anarchist here.
I mean,
I'm sorry, I had to say it.
No, I personally, I would even, you know, I would make it that even single parents can adopt, because I believe everybody needs a mother and father, and not allowing them to have that sort of, you know, like, sort of taking away something from them, if that makes sense. But
To be fair, Toasted, from a personal standpoint, and from all my observations throughout a long time, I do agree with you, at least on something of a psychological and emotional development sense. Yeah, it may not be the best thing for a kid to have two dads or two moms as opposed to one of each, is what I'm getting from what you're saying. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but having like two moms would really suck. It's like you're having no father. Like, as a child,
Yeah.
you always want to have a father who will play catch.
And if you flip that coin around and you have two fathers but no
Yeah.
mother,
Then you will have less kindness in your life. I mean,
but father, like,
Yeah.
the thing is-
And granted, I will say, for the sake of fairness, to be fair, that is not a guarantee that the child in question will come out in any way messed up. That's not a guarantee of that. However, it does kind of make me scratch my head a little bit, and that's just me. That's my own personal opinion there.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm just gonna say this is like two fathers. Like sort of like these type of people. They sort of act feminine, so maybe like it wouldn't be as bad. But two mothers, like especially lesbian ones, it's like having a single mother. Like one is like more feminine, but even the one that's less feminine, more masculine, that's no different than having a single mom, though. It's what I mean. It's like sort of
Well,
I don't know.
technically, it
Some of the
is different
economic,
because you're dealing with two different people
Yeah,
as
but
opposed to one.
imagine having two moms. It's not like it would be.
Oh,
easy to do.
I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, and trust me, I've been down I don't know how many rabbit holes in my life.
That'd be so annoying. No, but one thing I was going to say, he said Megan Kelly, Megan McCain, and Kat Timpf. Those people are not really. First of all, Megan Kelly and Kat Timpf are not conservative. Megan Kelly, I think, is a.
Oh God, Megan Kelly is a joke.
Yeah,
Like honestly, I'm amazed he even mentioned her name.
Yeah,
like
but
like she is so irrelevant. Like why? Yeah, just why, Mark?
Megan Kelly never considered herself conservative at all. She is centered. She has some right wing views, but she never said she was conservative or social conservative.
At best, she was a neocon light, and that was like when she actually made like any kind of sense at all, which is
Right,
not
but-
to say much.
But I think she was.
So, Mikhail, why are you not like a fan of like Megyn Kelly? Me personally,
Megan
I don't know,
Kelly?
Because of
maybe I
Donald
don't
Trump, I
know.
think. Because of the Donald Trump thing.
No, actually, no. Believe it or not, Toasted, and to answer your question, Theron, no, it's because
Okay, fine.
it's literally what I just said. Even on rare occasion that you could find her back in the day, like even before Donald Trump, where she actually made any kind of sense, which was to me something of a rare occurrence. She was a neocon light.
Right.
That's what she was. And guess what? She ain't changed.
Right. No, I'm saying she never been socially conservative. She always had I remember on their NBC show she had, a transgender kids on her thing and also relationship people on her show. Also, Megan McCain has always been pro LGBT, and Kat Timpf is a libertarian.
Yeah. You are absolutely correct.
I don't mean to be rude here, but I actually have to go. My mother is really.
No.
Maybe
You're good, dude.
I would love to react to this later, but I have to go now.
Oh, absolutely.
Speak to you later on the DMs.
Yeah, buzz me later,
we'll
bro.
speak later on like this.
Thanks,
Talk later on Discord. Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks,
thanks for having
coming.
me. Bye. Thanks a lot.
Oh, Theron.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the Discord. I think. Could you check that for me?
Okay, it says you're that. In fact, it shows that you're like what's the term? Like you're you know how in Discord there's like it shows whether or not you're offline or online. It even shows that you're online. Your Discord is Mikhail the Stray Cat, right?
Yeah, that's me. Okay, cool. No, I wanted to double check that.
Okay, so you know the Discord's this white Invictus thing, like this black eye with big white and
why Invictus? That's what I'm looking for because I actually am on like a bunch of Discords, so forgive me.
Okay.
What's the name that I'm looking for? Yeah, am I just looking for
HQ.
Invictus?
Yeah, Invictus HQ. Yeah, Invictus. It's not a circle like the other Discords. It looks more like maybe I don't know, maybe a octagon, maybe like an irregular.
Okay, I got you. It's gonna look a little bit different. No big deal. Okay, and with that, seeing as we're the only two left, did you have any closing thoughts yourself, Theron, on anything that we've discussed thus far? And for the record, I really would like to do a part 2 to each of these videos and our critiques thereof, because this is actually a very interesting conversation to me.
Yeah. I guess me. I think I did say my thoughts on like the Dave Rubin thing. I'm not sure about like the surrogacy part, but my main problem with like Mark Dice is that he called them quote unquote woke. Like this is that as an actual
Yes, he called them woke, and he called Dave Rubin a narcissist. I can't speak to his partner because I don't know anything about him, but you're absolutely right. It's like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, like I mean, you could disagree with the more with like PragerU and Co like being relatively more left wing than you, but that doesn't make them woke. I mean, does that like what like make Sargon of Akkad woke like?
Oh God. Oh Jesus Christ,
Or
no.
PSA
I
sit
really hope
and
not.
woke or Nuance Bro woke like for this as I mean like I probably like agree with like Mark Dice more on this. Like I think he's like overblowing this in a way. It's yeah
I
he's kind
think
of annoying.
maybe he took this a little over the top.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna go with this because
But
yeah, what?
also I think like Dave Rubin and like the more left leaning parts of the Republican Party should have like addressed like how like a lot of conservatives are like against if not gay marriage then gay adoption, and like he should have like uh, he should have like combat that dealt with that like early on back in like maybe 2017. That way it would have further legitimized him in front of the left, but now the left sees him as sort of a sellout or like a cuck or like a useful idiot, and that maybe we could have had like two different types of like two roughly different types of Republicans, but like they it would like give a more
Well, this is just a thought on my part, but I wonder if maybe at least certain people within the overall Republican Party, air quotes here, really don't want to split the party any more than it already is.
yeah. I mean like I don't mean to split. I mean more like two different like types of camps that could like that like certain people could like be okay with like following like the more maybe more I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
more
but
socially liberal.
therein lies what I'm talking about. I'm thinking to myself that they could go with that, and it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. However, here's what I'm seeing. They know that midterms are coming up in a handful of months, yes?
Oh yeah.
And they already know that the Democrats have effectively put a Grand Canyon sized divide within themselves, for want of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
Which looks better to the average, not really looking into things, not really thinking about things voter? Which looks better? Grand Canyon between two parts of a party, or a party that is more or less focused on the same general things? Which one looks better?
The latter part.
Exactly. And therein lies my point. And again, this is only a thought on my part. I could very well be wrong. But if I had to guess, I would be tempted to think that might play a part in why they don't want to do exactly what you just suggested, which, again, to your credit, that would make a lot of sense to me, but it's an election year, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yay for politics. Again, just a suspicion on my part, just an idea. I could very well be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What do
wish like
you think? I
I
mean,
guess
seriously, what do you think of what I just laid out?
yeah that, but also there's also other reasons. They want to like be buddies. Like they don't want to like have uncomfortable conversations. except for a few people, and those few
Well,
people happen to be Mark Dice.
well, let's be perfectly honest. If the last 40 fucking years have taught us nothing else about Republicans, they like to avoid tough discussions. They do.
Yeah.
They love to avoid duking it out with each other if they can, other than if they're running for president.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, my God.
Yeah. So basically, there's too much division in the Democrat Party, like not enough like regular division in the maybe not division, but like regular like debate within the Republican Party. Like even though we're ideologically more homogenous, we'd rather like unite rather than be willing to like debate our principles and still try and be like friends. I mean, we're willing to debate, but we're more willing to debate like I don't know, like maybe center left, like liberals, but that's more like I don't know. Those conversations aren't as tough as like with conversations with each other. I'd say.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, Theron. I have noticed this throughout several years of observing the Republican Party, and for that matter, Democrats. There are stark differences to be found there,
Hmm.
and yeah. Um, what I will say, as far as the fact that this is a midterm election year, come November, I will say this: um, Republicans and I can't believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth. Neocons and neocon wannabes. Here's the deal. At this point, this thing is already yours to lose. Do not, for the love of all that is good in this world, frankly, in this universe, do not shoot yourself in the dick and end up grasping defeat from the jaws of victory. This thing is yours to lose. Don't fuck it up, please. You got any closing thoughts, Theron?
Um. Uh. Like yeah, I guess not much after that. Like yeah, I guess I'll yeah. Also, I haven't been like posting videos because like of exams and stuff. We haven't
Of
even
course.
streamed because we haven't even streamed like because of like my essays and exams. But I'm like, I'm actually not gonna like post that much for some
Dude, I
time.
didn't even go to sleep last night because I was so fucking stoked just to be able to talk to you guys today after what, like 4 or 5 months? Thank you, Bird app. God.
Yeah,
Dude.
we need to do this like more often. But like, yeah, also, like, yeah, once my like exams finish, I'll post more regularly. But like, but also like, Rohan, like, and we were thinking of like doing an Invictus Media YouTube channel, like where we basically cut like, clips of our streams, like on mine, yours, and like Toasted, but like his one's like been
Hell
unlisted.
to the yes. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we can also stream on there and like yeah, so like maybe cut 5-10 minute like strips clips, that way it'll get more like not only more clicks but like we
Just more general attention.
yeah.
And hell yes, I'm all for it. Just let me know what you need from me.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm just yeah, I want to like I'm asking like Rohan to like make that channel, but I think he's busy with like an economics like podcast, so like yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like yeah, I guess we're also like I think Connor like wants to like post a video on there. Like I have an idea for like a video too of a Richard Wolf response, which is kind of like a copy of one of my other.
Oh god, this ought to be good.
But it's like a copy
Richard
of one of my.
Wolf. Oh god, this should be good.
Yeah, I actually like have two Wolf response videos. Like, but the reason I want to do it on that channel is because it's basically a copy, kind of a copy of like, my video on like a on my channel. So because he makes similar points in that video, so but yeah.
Bro, I'm all for it. In the words of Lucy, the little demon cat thing. I don't even know what to categorize him as. You've seen Disenchantment, right?
No, I don't. Is that anime? Like, I don't watch more.
No, that's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, and
Yeah, I don't
no.
have Netflix either. Like, I have
Crap.
Amazon Prime,
God
but like,
damn it.
but maybe I could watch like maybe I could check
All I was
out.
gonna
Like,
say is do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Yeah,
Right.
if you ever see me post that GIF, now you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's Lucy, and yeah, if you ever get Netflix like in the upcoming days, do yourself a favor, like take a couple days and binge watch the crap out of this. It's hilarious.
All right, Disenchantment.
It's hilarious. It's made by the same guys that made Futurama. Okay.
And Simpsons, yeah.
Yeah, and The Simpsons. Yes, Matt Groening and the rest.
Okay. So like, and since like this is like 4 seasons, diminishing returns hasn't hit yet, like with The Simpsons.
Clearly not.
Yeah. Like yeah, they actually did like they even like had to like do a cut of like Joe Rogan for a few seconds. Like I don't know, they just feel so irrelevant regardless of like politics, but like you know um The Simpsons. I mean,
Yes. And to be fair, it is actually very startling to go back through The Simpsons and actually count how many political and socioeconomic predictions that were meant to be
like
jokes that turned out to be true.
yeah, I mean President
It's
Trump.
actually really amazing.
Yeah, like they've people have gone through this before. Like President Trump is already one that I could think of. Like, what else did they predict? Like, yeah, like, but
A lot of things. Believe it or not, a lot of things. And they actually turned out to be right a lot.
Yeah.
Even though it was meant completely as humor. Like, they were making fun of the very idea that it would happen. And then, bam. Like, holy shit. Now what do we do?
Okay.
All right. Theron, you got any closing words? Because we're coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah, I think like yeah, not much. I think like that's it for me. Like yeah, so like finish the stream, I guess.
Nice. Well, Theron, and to everybody else, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for hearing us out. And thank you all very, very much for letting me host this. God, I have missed you guys over these last few months. Thank you, Twitter. I want to have words with you guys later. But nonetheless, this has been another installment of the Free Thinkers podcast. I am Mikhail the Stray Cat, and until next time, live free or die trying.